Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Good morning. Show. Oh my Lord. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hey, it's a good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Got your coffee, and oh my Lord, there's a random cane checker in the chat. What's up, cane checker?
What's up, cane shaker? Thanks for hanging out with us last night.
Yeah, cane checker. Guess what? KJ did a thing.
Yeah, we got a bone to pick with you, Cane Shaker. You were so awesome yesterday, but you didn't tell us what was more awesome about yesterday. How could you not let us know?
Right. Happy birthday, Cane Shaker.
Happy birthday from In the Shell to you. Have a happy birthday so the creep can have one too. Hey.
And you get spankings to grow an extra inch this year. All right.
Now, see, cane shaker, I didn't realize that your cane came in multiple different sizes. You know, I was trying to tell everybody that that's not a cane, that's a wand. But I guess your cane is magic and either has the ability to change shape and size. But that's not a cane, that's a wand.
That's right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And we know there's not enough candles on the cake, you know, for how old you are, but we're not
going to give that away. You know, he can pretend he's 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 10.
Well, if we had the proper amount
on your 10th birthday,
if we had the proper amount of candles, we'd have to call the fire department, the services to control fire substances. You know, a lot of things. You know, so we're just trying to keep it down, trying to keep it calm. Just make you feel good about yourself.
Yep.
That was a joke. All right. Hey, we got Twiddler. Hey, Twiddler.
Ah.
Hey. Twiddler. What's up? Then we got whoa. Lone Wolf. That's right. Hey, Lone Wolf.
Thanks for hanging out with
the game last night. That's right.
Heck of a game. Me and Lone Wolf, we hung out after the game was over.
Nice. Yeah, I had to leave quick because it was past time to call the wife for lunch. Teacher dude said, fell. Cane Checker says, why does everyone keep wishing me happy birthday? It says, I'm older than the pyramids and do not know my date of birth. That's right. That's funny.
Coming as a time-traveling head in the jar, I can respect that because being older than the pyramids, the calendars have changed at least 4 times.
Right.
I change mine every year, so I never remember anyway.
He never remembers. That's part of the stipulation of being a head in a jar. Yeah, because when you're a head in a jar, your memory is full. All right. That was a computer joke, by the way, everybody.
Well, he had to ram that one in there.
Yep. That's right. Boot your RAM.
64 megabits of
Twiddler says, I just bought my tickets to MagicCon Atlanta. Well, I hope you get to go.
Nice.
Sounds awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, that's a good question. Miss Hillbilly says, I got a question for KJ. How does a head in a jar run away?
You get Becky to lift the jar and quickly move without spilling my liquid out of the jar.
Right. Well, it's in the same aspect as in Hook. If you remember the movie Hook, Peter, when he was a baby in a carriage, unattended by his parents, decided to run away, and magically the cart started moving. Yep. He didn't want to grow up. He
could have just went to Toys R Us. It would have been a whole lot easier.
Right? Man, I think we miss the days for where Toys R Us was a globalized store. You can just go to the store and look at all the toy selections and stuff. Whew. I mean, there's still a couple Toys R Us's around, but
are there? I do know that they pop up since FAO Schwartz bought Toys R Us, they all disappeared. And I know that every once in a while around Christmas, you get at the malls, you get these Toys R Us present centers where you can get toys, Toys R Us toys, but I didn't know that they still have any.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Well, like there are pop-up stores. You'd have to Google it, but there's actually a couple permanent stores out there. But they're like the new KB Toys and Hobby in a mall.
Wait. New KB Toys?
Well,
why?
It's like the new because
they're new. I was like KB Toy Store. That's another one that I don't see anywhere ever. Like
KB the Toys and the Hobby. There's actually a documentary explaining why KB Toys and Hobbies and Toys R Us went away, and there is a certain Utah politician involved that when I learned about it made me hate Utah even more.
Well, there's not really much out there. They got to do something to make them happy. I mean, it's Utah.
Right.
An entire group of people decide to live in the third most desolate place on the planet.
It's funny. I just learned the other night talking to my mother who lives in Utah. The tallest building in Utah now is an apartment complex. And a very expensive one, and it's supposed to reshape how Utah functions. I actually looked at the website when I was talking to my mom. I forget the name of the apartment complex, but it's like 960 something feet tall. You got apartments ranging from studios to 3 bedrooms, and they start. And I know for California and stuff like this is like an average price, but for the studio pricing of an apartment, studios are like no bedroom, but it's just a room with a kitchenette and a bathroom. It's like $1,600 a month.
Oh my God.
That sounds about right for 1996 in rural Oregon somewhere. It doesn't sound like, but never mind. We're talking Utah. That's nothing. But at the same time, yeah. I'm sorry. Even at $1,000 a month for a studio, you're not going to get anybody to want to move to Utah. Nobody wants to go to, I was talking to a friend of mine who went on vacation to Utah. I think it was last year, and they went to vacation in Utah. And I says, why would you go to Utah? I'm for vacation. Well, we're going to see the Zion National Monument. It's kind of like the motherland of our people. I'm like, and he's a Mormon. So I'm like,
right.
And I'm like, yeah, but they have no liquor sales after 5 p.m. on a Friday. Sundays, you can't buy beer at all. Saturdays, you can't buy beer between before noon and after 3. It doesn't make any sense. And well, that's just our religion. I'm like, separation of church and state, brah.
Oh yeah. Twiddler says, I'm moving to Utah so there can be many Mrs. Twiddlers. That was a polygamous joke. No, like, yeah, this is like a fancy apartment complex. Like, there's actually a floor that's dedicated to being a swimming pool. There's a floor dedicated to being a gym. You know, the funny thing, I don't know if they're equipped in the apartments or if there's a floor for it, but it didn't say anything about laundry. That's crazy in the thing.
They
like,
never do.
You know,
apartment complexes never do. You know, and if they do say something about laundry, it's usually hookups available. My apartment complex has laundry hookups, but you're not allowed to bring in your own laundry machine. You have to rent theirs in order to use the laundry hookups.
That's
wow.
Yeah, it is BS. Sorry, that had nothing to do with it. You just threw me off with laundry.
well, yeah, I'm talking about for the price. They don't like. I'm remembering the website. There was nothing said about like a laundromat inside or personal laundry in apartments or nothing. I mean, like, because like I was having a conversation with my mom, and I'm like, if you think about it, says if you move to these apartments and you get like a top floor, because this has like a penthouse, everything, and above the penthouse, like on the very top, there's like a little park they built up top. And I'm like, if you're one of those people who live up on the very top, like apartments, right? If you live on the very top and you have to commute to work, you gotta not only wake up earlier to figure out things out, you gotta manage your time wiser, because it might take you a few extra minutes, like 10-20 minutes, to get from the top to the bottom and get to your car, then struggle through traffic. What's this?
Hey guys.
Hey Mrs. Hillbilly.
Is it time for
Hello,
question of the day?
Hillbilly.
Huh?
Get your Pokeballs out.
What's up?
What's up? How's it going?
I'm all right. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good
awesome.
since you brought me my coffee. Love my coffee.
I know you do.
Yup.
Woo. Man, everybody wants to jump in today. What's this? Boom. I just got a message saying I'm available. And I guess you can do it. Cosmic Seeds.
Hey,
Cosmic Seeds.
Cosmic.
You know, Cosmic Seed's been a member for 8 months.
Yo.
That is dedication.
Awesome.
We're talking dedication. 8 months of hanging out with the creep.
Oh, yeah.
Yup.
That's crazy.
Yes,
Oh,
very awesome.
Am I the longest creep? When it comes to memberships, probably. When it comes to the subscribers,
I don't know.
Cane Shaker's got everybody beat.
yup.
Woo. All right. So, we got a topic today, everybody.
All
Final
right.
Fantasy and Magic the Gathering, right?
Oh
This
boy.
this is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
A lot
Hey,
of emotions
everybody.
about-
Hey.
A lot of
Hey,
emotions about
wonderful.
the community about it. Like, a lot of people happy, a lot of people mad, a lot of people like disgruntled because they're not going to be able to afford it.
Well, there's like a lot going on. First of all, Final Fantasy is supplanting itself, the set, as the most popular set in Magic the Gathering right now. It's outperformed and outsold about every single set in Magic. And it's not even released yet.
I know that's crazy.
It is.
I find that to be crazy. I mean, we don't even, all the cards ain't even been spoiled. What's in the set? We
You
really
gotta-
don't know yet.
You got to
Yeah.
appreciate FOMO, though. You know, the fear
Yeah.
of missing out, especially when it comes to one of the largest cult following IPs that Magic the Gathering has put their hands into. And Final Fantasy people,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Final Fantasy people buy everything Final Fantasy. It doesn't matter. And I'm afraid, though, with this Final Fantasy thing, it's not going to attract a new player. It's just going to be a quick sale. It's a quick sales item because it will sell really hard.
Mhm.
Well, they may not be able to create players, but what they're aiming for is if they can't get a player, that's good. But what their main aim is the Final Fantasy people that likes Final Fantasy. You know, they're like, ooh, Final Fantasy. I'm gonna get it.
Hey, and you know what? Really, for really quick, Cane Chickers is hell. I've been blamed in the past for the channel existing, but KBG says because Final Fantasy fans will buy to collect these cards and not play it. It will hurt the game in MTG. That's a possibility.
That's what a lot of people are saying, though. A lot of people are worried about that. Hasbro's obviously not, because Hasbro deals with the IP exchange. That's how they deal with everything. IP exchange here, IP exchange there.
You're going to make that money. That's what they're saying.
I mean, it's not going to hurt Magic just because, just for a cash grab. That's what it is.
No, it's going to help Magic for that. Financially, it's going to help Magic. It's going to help Hasbro. It is actually a very smart thought process. The concept of hurting Magic is not. I think it's the thought process of hurting is the wrong word for people to use. It's just not going to. I don't think it's going to attract new players. Just like the Marvel stuff isn't going to attract new players. It's a cash grab on a huge IP that they know that people will, without blinking, spend every single last cent of their money on, and that's why they're doing it.
I just don't know how well the Avatar: The Last Airbender is going to sell well for it, because
not as good. It's not as good. It's not going to be as good. Avatar: The Last Bender doesn't have quite the following as Final Fantasy. Not even the following as Marvel. It does have a huge following, but I don't think the following is going to for Avatar is going to even touch this. Not even. Because Avatar fans won't spend every last cent they have. Final Fantasy fans will spend every last cent, every last penny to shilling to peso to they will spend your grandmother's money to get Final Fantasy gear, where the Last Airbender, it is not going to make as much money.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and look, there's a fan base out there, and Wizards obviously put a lot of love in this set, or a lot of money in this set, if you don't believe that they love their product or projects. But like when they care about a project, and they know when it's doing well, and when they care about a product and they know it's doing well, they push a lot of, in a way it's advertisement, but they'll push like a lot of interviews out. Like right now they're doing artist interviews for the set and stuff like that. They'll push out things they did, things that people are liking, things that are like hot as a card. They do this all the time. And one thing that a lot of people probably don't know, I know because I've stumbled upon non-Magic related channels, and Wizards of the Coast been pushing their Universes Beyond commercials into non-Magic sets. Like there's this one day I was watching a video about Jurassic Park, the filming in Jurassic Park and whatnot. And randomly, at this time, there was a commercial for Lord of the Rings, Magic the Gathering, Universes Beyond in this video. And it wasn't a commercial to me. It was a commercial that was sponsored by the content creator that he made in the video.
Yep. I've seen that also. I've been watching somebody playing. Of course, it's Magic content. I've been watching a streamer stream some arena. Then all of a sudden, boom, Magic ad shows up.
Yeah.
Advertising Final Fantasy or Lord of the Rings or whatever the next closest thing to open up.
Right. We got Manamunk saying, I sold my unborn grandchild's kidney for a Final Fantasy bundle. Whoop, whoop. That's thinking ahead, planning
Plus
ahead.
that unborn grandchild does not need 2 kidneys.
That's right.
Be selfish when you're born. Why don't you 2 kidneys, 2 lungs, 2 sides of your brain?
Right.
Do you need 2 ears? I mean, 10 fingers, isn't that a little excessive?
Well, it's always good to start with a few backups.
Don't start life off greedy with all these body parts. Look at me, I'm a head in a jar. I'm happy. I'm just a head in a jar. 10 fingers, 2 kidneys.
You weren't born a head in a jar, though.
KJ is upset because he's not on the top of the donor list.
No, apparently I was the donation.
You should have really read that clause when you filled out the application for donating your vital organs. Should have read that clause.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
Yep.
Twitter.
See, you should be worried about this because it is well known that Gen Z hates fornication games. MTG talks about the path will turn off. Maybe. And look, there's different generations that will act and react. And right now, there's a lot of things going on because I've seen a lot of mixed reactions to this from like Rogue Deck Builder and whatnot, and to other channels. And if it's a mixed reaction, like 50-50, like emotional, people have complaints, people have praises. What it comes down to, because a lot of people watch the same kind of stuff, is free advertisement. And good news is good news, but bad news is good news too.
Exactly.
KJ, what did you get for your donations? Asks Manamunk.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Right. Brandon. Happy dang blanket day, everyone. Whoop, whoop.
I kind of agree with Lone Wolf. What Lone Wolf said. We should have a meme for the detours.
Where did you see this comment?
Lone Wolf. Talking about, there we go. That's the one.
Talking about Final Fantasy turns into a detour. Again, didn't it already really should make a meme for this? Right?
For our detours? Yeah.
I mean,
like go this direction.
I have not
I
played
feel like
Final.
it should just... Oh, sorry, Hillbilly.
Go ahead, Miss Hellwheeler.
I was just saying, I feel like it should just be the morning show detour. It's like the coffee beans just come in and rolled us on.
Well, when they come out with like a brand new car, right? Like an electric car, for example, right? People pissed on the idea of an electric car. They're like, well, it doesn't produce as much power as gasoline, doesn't do this, doesn't do that, right? And electric cars were different, and people had the worries like, what if the battery overheats? Different story. Cars obviously have issues when they're brand new and they fix them and upgrade them, kind of like a console. Yep. But once people get used to the idea, and like people buy an electric car and they're like, wow, this is actually doing pretty decent here. It does what I need. People don't complain. All what this universe is beyond right now is doing is people are still adjusting to the change that is new and it's going on. Now, there are people who are upset because they can't find the product because it's sold out. Pre-sale sold out. People are upset that it's expensive. And I get that because, like, if there was a product like Jurassic Park, and if they made a bigger product that was expensive and sold out, I'd be a bit sad because there's a good chance I cannot get that particular.
Are you familiar with the term the 3 subjects to propaganda of change?
I know the what is it? The
3 points
stages of death.
Well, it's kind of like that. It's okay. So we have there's a thought process amongst our society that we call the propaganda of change. People are afraid of change, no matter what it is. When people don't like moving away from their apartment, even though they know they need a better apartment.
Right.
Because what if the new neighborhood's worse than the one I'm in? People don't like having change because, oh, this is a thing like magic people. They definitely don't like change when it comes down to adding IPs to their favorite game because it could damage the game. It could kill the game. It could raise my prices. It can do all this. You've heard the magic community give out all these excuses why they don't want the change, don't want the change, don't want the change. I love this card. I don't want it to leave my deck. I don't want this. I don't want that. The fear of change is a major thing, and we create our own propaganda in our head. Part of it is because of it. The whole electric car thing. That was the fear of propaganda of change because people feared in multiple industries of losing their job. The gas industry, the automotive industry, the repair industries. You get an electric car out there, somebody who knows how to work on propane engines don't know how to work on electric motors. A battery operated Tiger Electronics toy running on the freeway is not the same, in their opinion, based off of a gas-powered lawnmower being driven around by a person. There's these thought processes that in our head that we have 3 points to the propaganda of change, and it's does it kill something? Does it change something? Does it affect me in any way? And that is a problem that we have in society. It's one of the reasons why we do give in to things like FOMO. It's one of the reasons why we give in to commercialism. It's one of the reasons why we give in to different values that we have is because of this propaganda of change. You see it historically. Your grandfather always used to complain, well, back when I was a kid, son, we used to use a rotary dial telephone. We didn't have this internet and being able to talk to people all the time. The propaganda of change is all based out of our human fear.
Right.
And that human fear is monopolized on by governments, by corporations, even by your neighbor, in order to make their life better. And unfortunately, this is a human instinct, and we create our own propaganda of change.
All right.
But the next fear that we're going to have is these driverless cars. You just hop in the car. You talk to the car and tell them, hey, I want to go here. Then it just takes off and drives you there.
But that's neither here or there right now.
It's getting here. It's getting
well,
here.
No. I'm talking about the subject matter. Coaches Magic. Hello. Hey, coaches. That's good. All right. Now let me catch up with chat. There's a lot of things. Propane accessories. Dark Master Games. What's up? And Elijah, didn't mean to wait so long to say hello, but hello. It says I like to picture Hillbilly in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says I want to be formal, but I'm here to party. That's right.
That was a good one. I missed that one.
Kind of like when Hillbilly had that mullet back in the day. Rocking the old Billy Ray Cyrus style mullet.
Kevin, all these changes have brought in more people, more players, more money. The ones really leaving now are the OG collectors who don't want to open with the changes. Well, and to go on to that idea, Kevin, because I believe you, I follow that thought process because I do struggle with change, right? I do struggle with my bipolar disorder and things going on. I do, like, one of the biggest things I struggle with, and I've gotten better with, is FOMO, because, I used to be like, I can't miss out on this, but if you think about change, and when they make a law, or like when the government makes a law, or someone builds like a new invention, and people don't know how to think or react to it, and most laws or inventions are made to change the future. And what I want to get with that point is, like, Universes Beyond is happening now, but there's a lot of people who are blinded because they don't know how it's going to affect the future. Right now, we got a lot of theorists, we got a lot of conspiracies theorists going on right there. We got people who don't know how this stuff will change or not change Magic. I mean, Wizards really just blew our minds, and for us who are bipolar, just kind of panicked. Is when they released a year's worth of sets, like what's coming out, and half of it is literally Universes Beyond. And our brains are like, but what happened to Magic? But Wizards of the Coast has people they pay tons of money for, and I'm talking about tons of money, who do the analytics. They follow the money, they follow the aspirations or inspirations that people want, like customers. They spend lots of money on learning the customers and what they want. Now, one thing that changed the way Wizards and Hasbro thinks about Magic, and people tend to forget about this, is when the first biggest secret lair that came out was The Walking Dead, right? The Walking Dead secret lair. It was secret lair, unique cards. People complained, said they're going to quit the game. They bitched. They said this is going to ruin the whole thing, and sending in a lot of complaints to Wizards and all this stuff. And at that time was the best selling set that year.
Right. That aspect of not only the FOMO, but the when there's drama, it always does make something sell better. They always say all publicity is good publicity. Negative publicity is better publicity. Right. And what you just described was exactly the 3 points I was elaborating earlier regarding propaganda of change. The way you described it, and also I want to point out that Kevin also had pointed out a fact that leads towards that propaganda of change.
And it could be that way. See, Cabby G says, I'm not a collector. I'm a hardcore competitive player. I don't want to play a game that is this memey Spider-Man attacking Cloud. Well, and not to dog on you, and I don't mean to dog on you, but that's like the old person mentality right now, like the old collector who's been in the game forever. The old player who's been in the game forever. They like the game for what it was. They like how it is. And Wizards like, we need to make a change, and who knows why they need to make a change. Maybe they need to bring in more profits. Maybe Hasbro's writing them. And, they're changing things, and it is transforming the game as we know it, but like, I'm not averse to the change. I've been through a lot of changes in Magic now. And as long as I get to play with the cards I want, get to have the fun time I want, as long as I feel like I can be competitive or interactive in the game that I love, I'm okay with it. For the most part, like, bring it. Like,
I see where KBG is coming from, though, on this. Is like, okay, so there is a difference between, making these IP sets, which really I can see where a lot of people say, well, this should be a side Magic game. This should be like, how Monopoly does Star Wars Edition. You don't mix the Star Wars Edition Monopoly pieces with the regular Monopoly game. A lot of people are like, I've talked to a lot of people in the Magic community since I've started hanging out with you guys and Mr. DJ Longhair. And to be honest, a lot of the Magic players, they're not opposed to the side IPs. They just don't want them involved in the main game. They want it to be like, okay, you want to create a crap game like Aether Drift? Then make it Magic the Gathering Aether Drift a separate alternate game. Don't make it part of regular Magic the Gathering. You want to have IP related Marvel comics, Magic the Gathering, make it a separate game like Monopoly does Star Wars Edition board games, or they have Lilo and Stitch. I saw this at the Walmart the other day. Lilo and Stitch Sorry for the new promoting already. They're already putting out stuff to promote the new Lilo and Stitch movie that's still in production.
Right.
You know,
Eighth of Drift, Eighth of Drift was a magic set.
Right, it was. That's what I'm saying. And people, but the fans want to see stuff that they feel is ruining the IP as its own separate thing. Like they want to go Magic the Gathering, Aether Drift, where this is a separate game. They want it to be a separate game. They want the Marvel stuff to be a separate game, like the way they do the separate versions of Monopoly, the way they do separate versions of Candyland.
Let me interject with something really quick, because you're using Monopoly, all right? And yeah, people don't always mix parts, but there are a handful of games being designed today, the biggest one being Villainous, and the other one being it's a Monsters game, I can't remember it, where they make different games. And they're purposely making these different games to be interchangeable, where you can mix them together and play a campaign with these or play your board game with these. There's been a lot of change in the gaming industry happening for the physical product kind of stuff, not digital video games. And they're really hitting a market that people are liking. Like, I don't know if you ever played Villainous. Villainous is kind of interchangeable at the in the middle of it, because, you know, like the game Villainous has different Disney villains that you play against, and you have these decks, whatever, and you play the game. But like every time they make a game, they're like, you can play this with this set. You can play this with this set. So Monopoly is like just like a old school focused game. Everybody knows Monopoly. Everybody's played it. But like the newer games that people are buying are changing that way you think about it. Really quick, Madam Monk says, we're not old, we're vintage. That's right. Kevin G says, other competitive TCG games aren't doing this. Their IP sells. Yes, but at the same time, those other TCGs are not making the bank that Magic the Gathering is. Yes, I am fine with those UB sets being legal for Commander competitive formats. Shouldn't. Yeah, that's one of the things that kind of ticked me off there, KBG. I agree with that. Like I know Hillbilly wanted to play the Marvel set and stuff, but I don't think Spider-Man. I don't think Lord of the Rings, even though Lord of the Rings is not included in this list. I don't think Final Fantasy, they should be standard legal. I don't think they should be modern legal. But what did WotC do? They made a decision that said this set will sell if people can play it in their favorite formats. And look what's happening with Final Fantasy.
Yep.
You know,
I mean, I have to agree. I think the Universes Beyond sets should be their own. And should be not legal for all formats, but should be legal just for Commander. I mean, that's the only thing I play. I don't know nothing about all the other formats. All I know is Standard and Commander. That's the only formats I play. But I do believe that the Universes Beyond sets should be legal for the Commander community, but not legal for the Standard community. And just give us more Standard cards. I mean, look at the Spider-Man. It's not even legal for a digital format. So, but they are making cards that very much like it, but they're different names, different artwork. But they should, if they want to do that, then they can do that. Then they can still split it up.
Right.
And give Standard players different cards. Get the Universes Beyond. Leave them for the Commander players and.
Right, but you know, like I said, they made decision. The Hasbro and WotC made the decisions to make product that sells. Kevin G says, I'm fine with games like Weiss. It's marketed as a TCG that mixes anime shows. That's pretty cool. Got to run. See you later, man. Have a good day. Open portals. Traverse the multiverse.
See you, man. All
right. Kevin Hain, Magic is a brand, and Hasbro is using the IP they own to its full potential. Here's a question for the panel, though. Without Universes Beyond direction, would Magic be as well known and talked about? Well, you know what? I think you got a good point there in that question alone, because, you know, kind of like celebrities, when they make a dramatic decision that kind of changes things up, it brings more attention to them. They get more popular. They get more movie deals, you know? Yep. So like with Magic, like Magic is now the most well-known game in the world. Not only is it the first TCG in the world, it's the most well-known game in the world. You know, aside to Pokemon, right?
Yeah, I was about to say something about that.
MTG Gaming Bob says everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think it's absolutely fun that Universes Beyond to be in all formats. And hey, you're entitled to it, and I do not begrudge you anything about that.
Right. I mean, I agree and I disagree with Bob there. I mean, I think that everybody should be able to play Universes Beyond.
Well, let's get a little satirical with the content here, right? Mm-hmm. When I was young and dumb, and I was thinking about Universes Beyond before Universes Beyond was a thing, you know, me and my friends were building cubes, building decks, and we would start imagining how, like, superhero cards, Pokemon characters, and stuff like that would fit in a world of Magic, right? We would spend hours designing our own cards. We'd be like, "This is what Pikachu looks like as a Magic card," and I had one wrote up, like it had bestow and did some fun stuff. To me, it fit the flavor of a Pokemon. And then I did Samus from Metroid, and I had this little morphing dual-sided Samus that made little bomb tokens that flipped around, so you can morph from a character to the morph ball, and did some fun stuff. You know, when we was designing these things, we didn't think about how they fit in the lore. We just wanted to see what a character or creature of a different thing would fit as a Magic card. And I think that's the same brain space, because not everything's going to fit in the lore. I mean, can you imagine Jace the Mind Sculptor? Jace the Mind Sculptor going to the Star Wars universe, you know? Maybe something more ridiculous. What if Jace the Mind Sculptor went into the Pokemon universe, you know?
That would be funny.
Right?
Or Bikini Bottom.
Right. Bikini Bottom. Like, now, in the formats, like Commander stuff, you can have Jace and Pikachu be on the same field. But in the plane, it just makes no sense to have some of these characters, you know, develop the story to be story legal.
Here's the question.
Here's
a question before you continue on. I hate to interrupt. Really, though, when you're playing a game like Magic the Gathering, are you going to be more particularly playing the lore, or are you playing a game? I mean, it's, literally, when it comes down to it, the game is more important than the lore. Right. The lore supports the game. All right. I'm not saying the lore is not important, because it's highly important. I'm a lore fan myself of things. Right. I would rather dive into the lore than to the game. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you're a player and you're playing the game, you need to know how to win. You need to know how to play, and you need to know what the cards do. The lore is an added bonus for you. Right. In that case scenario, it's a game that first it's lore second. For me, it'd be lore first, and then they got the games and the stuff I can collect. But if you're in Magic the Gathering for the game, you're in it for the game. The lore is a supporting feature. Right. All right. Sorry. Continue.
All right, no, you're good. MTG, Kevin G says MTG was never marketed as this, though, which is why it's turning people off. But, I hate to use this term, but it makes sense in the thinking. You got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. And if they lose a couple shells and gain more players, more collectors, like what they're looking at in the long run is like their pocketbook stability for the income coming in. I think that's what it's all coming down to, while keeping a palatable emotional reverence in the game. Elijah says, I'm still waiting for the Magic the Gathering anime.
Okay, I'm gonna say something about that. if we do get one, it'll be based off that comic book that a person made, and that'll be set in the 1990s Magic the Gathering. So that would be an interesting comic to manga to bring into the anime if they do that. But that also costs them money, so don't know if they want to do that or not.
Yep.
Yeah, we got TCG, dude.
And also,
better Magic's time. Yeah.
And also, players that play the game, they tend to want only Magic to be Magic and hot cards. I'm not saying the universe is beyond not Magic, but they want everything to fit together. A universe is beyond set does not fit within the Magic lore, and with the lore, they want it to go along with the Magic cards. That's where you have the problem there. Yeah, it's not the game. It's not how the game's played or anything like that. It's the game and the lore that goes together.
Yeah, but not everything's going to fit in the lore, and not everything like you got to separate your biasness from the product to the lore, and they're going to follow through on one thing because Magic the Gathering still has lore. Universes Beyond have their own lore, and that's how it is. It's like if someone makes a Jurassic Park movie, then someone else makes another dinosaur movie like Magic the Gathering's own set, which they've done. It ain't about mixing lores or having the same lore. It's about here's one product, here's another.
Right.
And MTG Game Bob says, honestly, until Universe Beyond was a thing, I never seen MTG actually market anywhere, which is weird. It's like I said, that Jurassic Park video, I think it was like a locations how they made the movie video. I'd have to really dig it up and find it. But like there was a Lord of the Rings commercial made by the creator put in the video. So it wasn't like a skippable ad, and it was for Lord of the Rings. And my brain was thinking, man, wouldn't this been a good thing, a good video for like when Jurassic Park Secret Lair or something was coming out, or Ixalan was coming out? That would make more sense, but that was Lord of the Rings. I play Baldur's Gate for the lore because you make up your own lore as you go. Here's another point. Richard Garfield said that the first questionable expansion was the first deviation from traditional Magic, which was Arabian Nights, which incorporated the Earth realm. That's right. But at the same time, and I don't want to sound negative about this, but even though he puts his hand in the game sometimes, but Richard Garfield's no longer a part of Wizards of the Coast, you know. So it's like and a weird way to think about this, and I think the proper way to think about this is like when a company branches off from its original source and becomes its own entity for under a new ownership, basically, they start making decisions, good or bad, based on their own to try to fix the company or be better company. And I think Universes Beyond is pushing the limit, you know, to what the company can do, because, you know, not everything's going to be like a hit for you. Like, I'm not super excited about SpongeBob, but there are people who bought the stuff, you know?
Yeah. See, once again, but SpongeBob, like Final Fantasy and Marvel, and many of the Secret Lair, is a cash grab. And I feel like people who worry about the cash grab scenarios in that direction ruining the game, I think that they're dealing with one of the three points of propaganda, where it comes down to that. And I firmly believe that for the real true collector, the real true player, and even the real true and lore enthusiast goes, you know what? We understand that they have to do this in order to keep the game selling. And after all, a lot of the people out there in the Magic community complain when they do reprints. So in order to not do reprints and have like some sort of original idea to keep selling and having Wizards of the Coast not be shut down by Hasbro, you know, but for not having anything new, because Hasbro wants them to print all the time. Hasbro wants to keep something going. Hasbro needs to make money for it, and they're not going to have a company that's going to not print because, oh well, we can't reprint this because we said we're not going to reprint this. Oh, we're not going to do this because we said we're not going to do this. But we need to get people in there, new players. We need the cash grab. We need the nostalgic purchase, and we need all this other stuff. As Hasbro, they are going to force that through, and they are going to change the game or add to the game. Just as you said, the new ownership will see what they see fit, and the question is, so who knows better? The daughter company of Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, or will does Hasbro, a 140-year-old toy company, know better? I'm exaggerating on the age of Hasbro. I wasn't there for its birth and conception, but I'm just saying, the toy company who owns it, or the people who are moderating the IP in the background from the from the daughter company. That's where that's the big question there. Otherwise, I think true fans of Magic understand that, okay, this is just a cash grab. This is just whatever it is. We're gonna get it. We're gonna have it in our library because we have it, but we don't need it because it's not Magic. It's just got the Magic logo on it, and you can play it in your Magic games. I think the true fans know that. Right.
Really quick, Kevin Haynes says Garfield is okay with the Universes Beyond direction. Remember, you are dealing with multiverse rules, and content can vary widely. Wait until you see Edge of Eternities. Oh, I can't wait. That's the next thing that I'm excited for. So if Starbucks comes out with a limited time drink, is that Starbucks forcing out all the old coffee drinkers? Not really. No. It's like when soda companies like Mountain Dew, they're notorious for this, comes out with different flavors. They're trying different things.
I don't think anybody's accusing Wizard of the Coast or Hasbro of forcing out old people. Now, if anybody thinks that they're being forced out of the game, that's kind of in their once again their head making propaganda. Nobody's forcing anybody out of the game. Hasbro doesn't want to force anybody out of the game. Hasbro wants your money. Hasbro wants their money. Hasbro wants your neighbor's money. And you, them, and your neighbor all have different likes. And Hasbro is going to do everything they can to get their money. Hasbro is not going to force you out of the game. If you leave the game, if somebody says, oh, I'm not playing Magic anymore because of this IP, which I heard several times over the last year, they shouldn't be bringing in the Marvel. They shouldn't be bringing in. There are people who are very upset about Final Fantasy. Very upset because they don't want Final Fantasy to even be near. Just because it's a cash grab. I've seen the complaints on the internet. All right. And I'm going to be honest with you. Those people who say, well, we're going to leave. Those are the same people who say, well, if so-and-so gets elected into government, I'm moving to Canada, and you're not. You're going to still buy the product. Come on. Come on. Right. Nobody's forcing anybody out of from wanting to play the game. If you don't want to play the game because you don't approve of an IP, that's your decision. That you're forcing yourself out, not Hasbro, not Wizards of the Coast.
Right. MTG Game Bob says, well, to be fair, Cynthia Williams did a terrible job managing MTG. It's probably why she's over Funko Pops now. There is some sort of complicated balance for all things that Watson needs to find to continue success. And he says, also, to be fair, MTG was managed a certain way for 25 years that made drastic changes to the collection with irresponsible reprinting. Yep. And this is definite betrayal of long-term collectors. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of things that go. I agree with that.
Right.
Yes, it became clear with Universes Beyond and Magic 3 that Wizards only cares about the money and not the players.
Yeah. It's a business. It's not going to care about the players. Come on. It's a business. Capitalism. Come on. Let's support capitalism.
Look, we got to close this up, but I want to end this topic with a joke. All right. SpongeBob is a kid's show. Doesn't that negate the 13 plus on the packs?
I love
Think
it.
about that.
I love it. Thank you. This is kids show. 13 plus on the packs. Thank you. New
That's
players.
right.
Thank you. Thank you, Tortoise. Oh, my favorite thing in the world. 13 plus on a pack. It is for the new players, the new kids, not us 50-year-olds.
It's not fun.
We are going to be dead in 20 years. Our money's no good to Hasbro. Your kids' money is good to Hasbro. Yes, 13 plus. Thank you. Capitalism.
SpongeBob is for kids younger than 13.
Well, you say that, but now SpongeBob's like what, 25 years old?
Yeah,
There's adults
SpongeBob
who love
is
it.
yeah. SpongeBob is an IP that I watched as a teenager. It is just as old as us. And tell you the truth, if you go, I'm going to send you a documentary on SpongeBob, and you're going to see how SpongeBob was really just like Ren and Stimpy, an adult product.
Oh,
Until
I know the
Nickelodeon
story.
got its
I know the
hands on
story.
it.
That was
Wow.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's an adult product. Trust me. There's a lot of references that we will not be speaking about here on this show that they even show on SpongeBob.
That sounds like a good episode for Procrasticraft. Or
Jesse and I are actually trying to get a WOKEN entertainment episode running, but we're having trouble finding somebody who wants to potentially cancel themselves on stream. If you want to potentially cancel yourself and talk about WOKE entertainment, contact Jesse or myself, and we want to do a topic about just that. And we want to talk about how exactly IPs like Ren and Stimpy, SpongeBob, and a couple of your favorite IPs used to be designed for adults. Looney Tunes used to be designed for adults. All right, not for kids. They're kids' product now, but they were designed for adults.
Hey, all right.
Oh, looks like we do have a lucky person. Hit us up on Discord, Elijah, if you want to cancel yourself.
All right. Now we got to get to that spectacular scene, that little clip that separates the show.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG 3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise. Building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon. No one can bring us down. MTG 3 in the house. We own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Whoa. It is time to chill ourselves out so we can close the show and move on. But hey, don't take my word for it. You know, why don't you take out Hellwheeler's word for it?
My word? All right. So it's Thursday today. So we are continuing with Mass Effect tonight. Second episode. It was a very depressing start. A lot of explosions and unfortunate things happened at the very beginning. So we've got to fix this universe. And I've no idea how long it's going to take. Last time Mass Effect took us about 9 episodes. So I think we've got a lot of journeying ahead. So if you want to come watch that, check it out. It'll be around 6 or 7. I'm playing around with the start time a little bit, seeing what works best for everyone, or sort of when it's good to come in. So let me know if it's working better towards the 7, or rather the 6, whichever. But yeah, and then tomorrow we've got Question Chaos, getting ready for the start of the first tournament of the year. So if you're interested in locale TCG, that's the place to be.
All right. He now goes with his mugenfool. The meme lives.
Muted.
Oh, Mugen. One day, this will no longer be a meme.
That boy ain't right. I tell you what.
You got anything to say, Miss Hillbilly?
Hey guys, this is Follow Hillbilly and all the rest of the guys. Good being on the show. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Have fun. Now we're going to roll over to the crazy head in a jar. kjcowboydan.
Hey, howdy, hey, boys and girls. And Cowboy Dan had another hot take today. I hope you guys had a chance to clip that so you can cancel me in the future. Oh, yeah. But in the meantime, I want to thank everybody who joined Jesse and I last night. I had a long, fun night last night. First with Procrastinating Across the Oceans, where we had a very active chat hanging out with us while we were reading Reddit articles. I'd like to thank TCG Dude, who came in as our guest and helped us pick apart the magic section of our Reddit readings, where at the end of the show, we read a couple Am I the BH regarding magic. So I want you guys to check out that. It's on Jesse's page. Also, we got a fun episode that we're working on for next week on Procrastinating Across the Ocean. Last night, we had a lot of fun on our community game night, where on my YouTube channel, I had at one point in time 16 people on my YouTube channel, and while we were playing Balloons Tower Defense. And when we ended the show, there was still 11 people hanging out in my chat. Wild. Probably the most active gaming night I've ever had, thanks to you guys. And you guys are incredibly awesome. Special thanks to Lone Wolf, Cane Shaker, Elijah, and a few other people that are most likely in our chat right now. Thanks for helping us out. You guys are incredible.
Incredible.
Now
it's time to get to the incredible edible MTG HILLBILLY.
Hey, everybody. Today at 2 o'clock, we're going to try to get out of platinum and get into at least diamond. Yeah, it's been a grind, but I'm going to keep on grinding. That's really all I got to do for today. But, see, today is Thursday. Might be something going on tonight, but not on my channel, unfortunately. But we'll hear more about that when we go to the next person. But either way, that's all I got planned for today is just to do a 2 o'clock stream this afternoon. And that's it.
Whoop,
Whoop, whoop.
whoop, whoop. Everybody, it is Super Fast Tortoise, and tonight we have a commander game going on tonight. We're going to have fun, bracket 3 through 4. If you want to join the game, play with us, let me know in Discord, and we'll let you play. As long as you're a subscriber, part of Discord, we'll love to have you, right? You know, you guys rock, you guys roll. I want to thank everybody for being on the show today, like HILLBILLY, kjcowboydan, Miss HILLBILLY, mugenfool, Hellwheeler, what's up?
What's up?
You exploded the chat room. You had a good conversation. You guys had a lot of a good.
Oh dear Lord! Yeah, Hillbilly. Sorry.
Back up, Hellbilly.
I just got a jump scare there from Hillbilly.
Yeah, you can't eat chat.
Hey, Blaggett.
But I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for leaving a like, subscribing, all that fun jazz. I want to remind you that you are loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, brighten someone's day just a little, because you might be the change someone needs today. And with that, my friends, thank you, my members, for being members of the channel. Thank you, subscribers, for keeping us going. We want to reach that 1,000 goal as fast as we can, so we can do that sweet giveaway. But anyways, let's get to that sweet outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and